Well, there's a saying in Nashville Prep. It says, read today, write the future. And what that means is the more you read, the more words you'll know, the smarter you will be, and the more you can write. And the more you write, the more it will have an effect on the future.
So at a traditional school, you might see 2 classes with 25 students in each class and 1 teacher teaching each of these classes. In the Revolution Lab, you'll see 50 or more students in 1 class with 2 teachers. In breaking down these walls, we are able to group scholars in ways that we could have never imagined possible in a traditional classroom setting. So the traditional model in Nashville Prep has been a skill-based class. When I say skill-based, it means today is Monday. Today I am teaching you how to create equivalent ratios. Now, traditionally, that's all you can do in 1 class. We might push you to write more about it. We might push you to explain your answers orally. We might introduce it visually, but it's all pen and paper. Every student at the end is expected to complete the same assessment, and it doesn't allow for the kids who need to go further to go further. So if you think about a middle school PE class, a lot of the times it's just a large cluster and everyone's in the middle. Well, a lot of those kids want to run faster, and then a lot of those kids aren't ready for that pace and they want to slow down. So in the Revolution Lab, we allow the scholars who want to go further to push themselves further. And the scholars who want to slow down, we let them slow down and we meet them exactly where they need to be.
If we didn't get something in the Rev Lab, like if we're failing something in math, he'll go back over it with us and let us use like computers to get more and more practice.
So the goal of the Revolution Lab is to create this autonomous working environment where the learning is differentiated, and it really recreates a collegiate environment where scholars are constantly working on drafting and revising their pieces of writing.
A typical day in the Rev Lab, we would need some, say, they would need some examples of our writing. So they would pick a question or a story that we wrote, and they would ask to write another kind of story that's kind of similar to it. And we could get ready, outline it, draft it, then we would write it.
The objective of the Revolution Lab is to push every individual scholar to their maximum capacity, to give them exactly what they need every day so that they can be as successful as possible when it's time to take the ACT in 10th grade. There are many scholars on the same track, and so these scholars can either work in tandem to complete a module, or there are scholars who have moved above, who I've deemed to be great tutors. They can come down and tutor scholars who are working on unmastered modules. I'll provide them with the sorts of questions that would guide these scholars to the correct answers and to the proper process to get them to where they need to be. You might see in the back of the circular tables myself or Mr. Holt tutoring individual groups of scholars. You might see a group of scholars in the back working on a complicated open response task to prepare for Common Core.
I've never used a laptop at school, which I think it was like a privilege for us to use.
I remember in college that my business calculus class was in a math lab. All of my papers from my economics and political science classes were created on my own and emailed to my professor. So what we're doing in the Revolution Lab is preparing our scholars for college, which is the mission of Nashville Prep, is to prepare our scholars to be successful in college and in a life of active citizenship afterward. So when we give each of these scholars a laptop, we teach them how to use Gmail. We teach them how to email their teachers, how to email one another to ask for homework help. We teach them how to complete math modules on the computer and show their work separately in a composition book. We teach them how to draft papers, how to research in order to get content for these papers. We're preparing them for what college is like in the 21st century.
The programs we use are filing, and we also use something she's created called Writing Tube, which is a website where we find places where we can download the documents that we're going to need for the day.
And these skills are absolutely necessary as scholars transition from high school to college. They not only need to be functional writers and then their ability to use technology, they need to be exceptional.
If we know more about technology, we can develop more and probably create more things to help students out for like school and just prepare them for college and life.
We'd like to thank the Turner Foundation in Nashville for providing the spark that it took to get the Revolution Lab started and to make this possible for the scholars of Nashville Prep. This is an introduction to the Revolution Lab at Nashville Prep. I look forward to sharing more videos and resources and updates with you on our scholars' progress within this lab. We can't wait to see what this year holds.